Hello, everybody. Welcome. What's going on? Welcome in, Oshik. How's everyone doing? What's going on? Hey, bro. How's it going? How's your day? It's going good. I didn't wake up that long ago. So, but to be fair, I did go to bed, like, I don't even know. Probably like noon. Yeah. My sleep schedule's kind of messed up. Oh, but it's okay. Had an egg for lunch. It's pretty good. Alright. But today, we're going to be working on more enemies. We added that one guy, but I want to change him, I think. So we're gonna do that. I am 3D printing, so might as well make it visible. I'm pretty sure we move the printer text up into it like that. All right. Okay. We can go ahead and get started on stuff. Alright. Go over to bed. Alright. So, we got a couple other enemies that we can do. So yeah, we did the boring guy. There's also like the little baby variant that spawns from the hive, so I do want to work on that maybe. It would be cool if they like also grew up or something. So yeah. But let's change the wasp guy, just, I don't know. I'm not really vibing with it. So let's go to the boring. Oops. Hey, Ulfrajack, what's up? How's it going? Where is it? Should be up here. Here we go. Okay. I don't know exactly what I hate about the sprite. I think that's what's tripping me up right now, you know? But it's just something. I think it's mainly the legs. Why is the sprite doubled? These are all different frames, so. How am I today? I'm doing pretty good. Just, haven't been up to much yet, but it's stream time, so. Let's do that maybe for this leg. Maybe we'll just do that. Yeah, I don't know. I just was not happy with how these legs were. It was just like a little too messy and stuff. Hopefully this will be better. I don't know if the leg being in the front like that makes any sense. I think it should just be like this. We'll give this a try. And for now, I'm just going to delete all of the outline, I think. There's just too much going on back in there, I think. Let's make the drill solid color also. Let's see, something goes down there. Okay. Should I learn Godot? I would recommend it. You know, if you're looking for an engine and stuff that you want to dive into. I've always had a really good time with Godot. But yeah, it's a solid option. There's a bunch of other ones too, you know. You've got, you know, the classics. Unity and Unreal. Right? So those are options too. But I've really enjoyed using Godot. I like just how simple the engine is and stuff, and like, it's really easy to learn, honestly. It's always been easy, really easy for me to just pick up on stuff and, you know, figure it out really quick. I think I'm gonna increase the size of the head. Maybe that's part of my issue. Yeah, I would recommend it. I just like how I don't know, compared to something like Unity and stuff, it's more lightweight, so it's just easier to jump into things and start doing stuff. One thing that I always hated about Unity was just how long it took to open the editor. It just takes forever, man. It got to the point where I was just like, this is like kind of unusable. But Godot opens very quickly, which is nice. Okay, I think I'm happier with these proportions. I think one of the big issues was that the head was so tiny. And so it kind of looked odd. And I think the smaller legs are going to look better once we outline, so we'll try this out. I will put this on another layer, but yeah, we'll figure out how we want to animate it. That was Godot. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's Godot. But, you know, it doesn't really matter how you pronounce it, right? It's all the same thing, really. Oh, I have to do... Oops. Yeah, it's kind of like Ubisoft, you know, or like Studio Ghibli. It's like, there's a million ways you can pronounce them, and they're basically all right. So, kind of just comes down to personal preference, honestly. I don't really care if people say Godot or anything, you know. I'm just like, okay. that is one of the ways to pronounce it. But I always say Godot. Okay, this guy should be shifted down a row of pixels. So let's grab his head and boink. Okay, so then what's next here? Head stays down. Then head goes back up over there. We'll just figure it out. Let's just start animating. Let's merge these layers. Okay. Oh, I don't have a printer cam on. Oh. There you go. You can see it printing. I did this one big print and it like completely failed, which sucked. Hopefully this one doesn't also fail. I'm printing another one of the little stand things for my mom because she put the PLA in the dishwasher and it just completely melted it. So I have to make another one. It's all good. Okay. So that's the body shifting down right there. That really should probably be like that. Let me do that all over. Oh, I guess that leg will be up on it, so we can do that. All right, so that's where body goes down, and then here head will go up and body stays down. Okay. Boom. So let's just preview that right now. What's going on with the neck? It's like some weirdness. Let's figure that out. So that should stay up, up. Oh, it's because it only goes down for 1 frame. Okay. Let's double check on that now. Yeah. And there's also a weird frame. Oh, because this is... Oh, the head isn't actually going up. Yeah, that's... Yeah, let's just delete this one. The longest script I've ever done. Yeah, I think it's the player script. There's just a lot going on in there. One of these days I will go through that and finally clear some stuff out, but it's just hard to justify doing that now when everything is working fine, you know? But I imagine as we move into, you know, closer to release and stuff, I can spend the time to kind of fix stuff like that. Yeah, I can show it off here in just a second. That looks weird. Something's up. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, so this is just body up, body down, body down. Wait, what? Oh. No, it is fine. I just have to shift it down. I think it's the issue. Okay. God dang it. I have to move the head again. Yeah, I'll go show that off in just 1 second here. Okay, let me test this. Did it go up? I don't think I did. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Okay. So yeah, player script. It's pretty long. It's I think it's close to 2,000. Yeah, it's like 2,200 lines. So it's long. You know, the player has a lot of variables and stuff. Which is just the beginning of it. There's like functions for syncing tools and setting your skin. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. The length of a script doesn't really determine its performance or anything. One of the reasons why the player script is so long is just because there's so many functions. Because there's just a lot of things that the player does, you know? Like creating an attack box for the player, using their tool. Like I gotta handle that stuff. Consuming an item. Item effects. Inventory check. This is just checking for... yeah, like when you click on a building. Opening your inventory, closing your inventory. And since the UI is also tied into the player, a lot of the functions in here is related to that too. So you have like open the pause menu, close the pause menu, toggle it. When the player gets hit, changing your tool. So yeah, it just goes on and on. Respawning, losing items, like when you die, and showing the death screen. Mining an item, so that's like if you mine an item, it picks it up. Checking the floor for like the step sound. Boss music stuff. And then server checks. I don't do a lot of these anymore. I don't do any of these. But there's a couple in here that I do still. Like checking if the players died and stuff. Removing an effect, which... I don't know why that one is here, because I thought that was in the entity script. Oh, I guess I do call it. Effect nodes. I don't know why... Huh. Why this is a separate function. I say blah blah blah, effect, process clear, and then erase the effect. I don't know. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a pretty dense script. I'm always trying to like clean things up in here, but you know, it works. Like it doesn't really matter how long it is. The big thing that matters is just, you know, how it performs and if the player is able to do all the stuff, you know? So I don't think it really matters. Just thinking how I want to animate this, because the head... Okay, the head does stay there. So it goes down, down, head goes up, body stays there. I mean, I think it's fine. Especially when this enemy's flying, you know, it'll be way different. Okay, and then for these ones, I'm just gonna delete the background thing. The background wing. Then we're just gonna convert this into this. We gotta rebuild the body. It's not a big deal. Okay. Something like that. Okay. I think that's what I want. Right? His body's the same size? Yeah, they are. Okay, so now the wings are going to be flapping. Yeah, I just like this sprite better. I don't know. I mean, the other one was okay and stuff, but it just didn't fit the vibe. It always looked really odd to me. Hey, thank you for the stream. I don't know what it was. It's just like the style was just different. I wasn't a big fan of it. I'll save it just as like a backup. But yeah, I think this one looks better. Okay. So, is your printer for? Yeah, this is 3D printing right now. It's making a, it's like a little stand for a jar. Mom's growing sprouts in a jar. Just like plant seeds. So, it's a way to keep the stand up and have the water drain out so they don't rot and stuff. Because she was having an issue with the sprouts going bad. It smelled terrible. I think you can remove the spine. Yeah, I can honestly probably get rid of those because it doesn't really add anything. We can go to... I don't know where we go. It's like overlay, content, monetization settings, somewhere in here. Alerts. Yeah, I'm stupid. Let's edit these alerts. So, channel points. Because there's just this one for redeeming it. Right? Can I, like, exclude certain ones? Or do I just have to disable it for everything? Vibration. Yeah, maybe in there. Let's go look at that. So, it'd be for spine. Enter text. Not seeing anything in here. Skip reward request queue. Manage alerts? No, that just goes there. That's stupid. I don't know. I don't think there's a way to disable it for one specific one, which is kind of annoying. Because if like you redeem one of these ones down here, it's like I want to know that that happened. Unless I can add one. See, it just says for any channel point redemption. How do I delete these other ones now? How do I delete this? I don't know. Got your game up on Steam? Yeah, Starground is in early access right now, so it's going pretty good. Here we go, delete variant. Well, that kind of sucks. Thank you for the hydrate. Oh, here we go. We can choose which one. Okay, so we can just have one for the ones that we want to activate. Okay. So we want one for a lot of this stuff. Ooh. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. There's gonna be a bunch in here. So that's Starground skin. This will be... I mean, hydrate doesn't really need it either. Add an emote will... Anything that happens on screen, you know, will, like, be fine. Posture check has the Minecraft now. Spin cheese time is fine. Steam key needs it. So skin, emote, Steam key. Starground hat. Yep. How much does it cost? I think it's $10 USD. But it's localized for all the regions, so thank you for the posture check. Oh, and yeah, I forgot you were doing the hydrant. Thank you, Authorels, for the hydrate. How's it going? Here, I'm just gonna open this side by side so I can frickin' quick fire. Posture check. Ugh. Okay. So this is custom Starground skin. We'll just keep it in order, right? Then it's Steam key, after skin, and then hat. So hat, Steam, skin, add an emote. Text to speech doesn't need it. Neither does cheese time, hydrate, posture check, or spin. So that's it. So let's delete this variant. And we should be good to go now. Okay. Send cold message. Yeah, that's for when you play Cult of the Lamb, there's like a Twitch integration thing, so. Yeah, anyway, Starground, it's $10. It's gonna be on sale on the 16th of May, so, you know, be on the lookout. Yeah. So where was I? I was moving this leg. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. Okay. Is that where it goes down? Yeah. Those legs will go up there. And then here, I imagine they'll sort of straighten out a little bit. Sort of like that. Let's see. Yeah. And then we just gotta keep the back legs in sync. So here they're going up. Here they're straightening out. So let's just delete that. See what that looks like. Oh wait, no, they're not straightening out here. Whoopsies. Here they are going forward. Here they're straightening out. Okay. Hey, Setalix! Thank you so much for the raid. What's going on? Welcome in, everybody. What's up? Oh, man. How's everyone doing? Welcome in. Yeah, we're just currently drawing guys for Starground. Show you the new region we're working on. So, man, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, how's everyone doing? What were you up to today on your stream? I wonder if I like the brighter bit on that or not. I think it's kind of good. Pretty good. Managed to make progress in some combat implementations and NPCs using the new input setup. Nice. It's good stuff. Cool. Yeah, we're just working on enemies for Starground. And thank you for the cheese time. Pixel art stuff. Yeah, I am drawing a guy. We actually already drew this sprite before, but I wanted to go back through and kind of fix it because I don't know, there's just something about it that I didn't really like. So I'm deciding to change it now. But I think I'm pretty happy with how this is. I don't know. Before it felt like it didn't really fit the style of the game, but now it's better. But yeah. Making it so you can parry / block with the weapon you're holding. Ooh, nice, yeah. Otherwise a shield if you have one. Oh, and you're hooking it up for the NPCs. That's awesome, yeah. That's cool stuff. Yeah, I need to spend some time and like integrate some more. One thing that I need to do soon with like the NPCs and enemies and stuff is make it so that they can target different things. Right now they just target the player, which has been fine up until now, but I want them to start attacking each other, so I gotta do that. Gotta run, yeah, no problem, old Code Void. Thank you for popping in. Part of being an artist, immediately be able to redraw things, yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't vibing with it before, but I think it's shaping up now. I think the legs were too thick before, and like the head was too tiny, so it looked really weird and disproportionate. It just didn't look like a, you know, because all the characters and stuff in the game are very like cartoony proportion. So I don't know, it just felt very odd when like the head was small. So yeah, like making NPCs have the same abilities as a player. It's tricky when it comes to targeting. Yeah, right. It can get a little difficult, but I think it'll be cool though. I want the enemies to attack each other, and then also I'm planning on adding in like a room that's like kind of like a defend mission. So it's like the enemies won't attack you, but you have to stop them from attacking the center thing. We've all seen it before, you know. Yeah, I think it would just be a fun room. Is that a bee or a wasp? 4 legs? It has 6 legs. There's 3 here and 3 in the back. It's kind of like a wasp thing. None of the enemies or anything in Starground are real. So, you know. But it's something along those lines. There are no cars. Oh man, that's so sad. Is that my printer cam? Yeah, 3D printing a little stand for my mom. It's like a little mount, and then you put a glass jar in it. She's growing these sprouts, so she needs it to prevent, like, to let the water drain out. Otherwise, the sprouts just kind of clog up the opening. So it's nice. You merely added that one pixel to the side, make it look like it has a top. Yeah, it's interesting what you can do with outline stuff, right? Because like, you know, you can automatically just go through but sometimes you want like to purposely add in the corner. I think it really helps tie outlines together. So like, for example, I added this little pixel here in the corner. If you just did like an automatic one, it would just do that. But I don't think that looks very good because I'm trying to emphasize the pointiness of this corner here. So there's a whole kind of art to how you do outlines with pixel art. And I always just do a solid black outline, but a lot of people do like add colors in the outlines and stuff, which you know, I think is fine. I just never did it for Starground, so it's just a different style, you know. Did you see the Legend Z-Ment is here? Yeah. It's epic. Yeah, I gotta love a good, point defense minigame. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and do a different pixel and it changes everything. Yeah. Recently love doing shaded outlines. Yeah. Yeah, like the original color. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think Minecraft outlines are a good example of that style, you know, because they're all colored. I think that style just gives your textures like a softer look. If you go full solid outline, which is what I did in Starground, I think it has a more punchy, cartoony look. So, right, it just depends on like what you're trying to achieve with the style. But I've definitely worked on games where I've done that kind of outline style, so. All right, there we go. Outlined. I hope it looks okay in game. We'll see. I think these eyes might be too dark. I might change the colors for this whole guy, because maybe that's part of why I'm, like, not vibing. Maybe it's too dark. You know, maybe that's a better color. I don't know yet. We will experiment. Let's save it and check it out in game. I feel like a blended color outline is nice if it doesn't muddy the design, but a dark outline is crisp. Yeah. Yeah, very punchy this way. Bad eyes like punchy, sharp designs. Yeah. Yeah, I like the contrast of the solid outline, but, you know, really whatever works. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, so let's go to here. And let's just go into the game. See what it looks like when it's spawned in. Full outlines, my art teacher actually said it's wrong. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think anything's necessarily wrong, right? Like, that's the thing with art, I think, is that it's very subjective, right? And like, things that are wrong aren't necessarily wrong. It just gives it a certain appearance, I think. I don't really think there's any true right or wrong with art, right? It's all just what works for the specific scenario. Yeah, that's true, exactly. Yeah, same thing I say for programming. Yeah, right. I mean, there's a million ways to do the same thing too, so it's like, yeah, right. It's just all creative. Yeah, I only see stuff like that as just a tool in your tool belt, right? not as like the way to do it, but just a way to do it. And it's the exact same thing with, yeah, right, with programming, where it's like, there's a million ways you could program the same thing. It's just, how do you want to do it? And there's no right or wrong. Like, I mean, some things are probably a bad idea. Okay, he's animating too fast, I feel like. You know, like, you probably don't want to have an if statement for 1,000 if statements to create a clock. Like, imagine if I had 1,000 if statements to check what day it was. That would be stupid. But, you know. I think when it comes to like the logical like way that you implement something, like the structure, that's where things get much more creative, right? Like, I don't know, the way you want to implement enemies, or do you want to do inherents or component-based programming? It's like a million ways you could do it. Since people start preaching right and wrong, subjective, open-ended things, I get tense. Yeah. Clearly back to my clock app. Imagine. No, but yeah, I think, and it's the same thing with freaking everything, honestly. Like with engines and stuff, how people are always like, this is the best engine, and then all the others are bad, but that's not true either. You know? I love Godot, but I have the awareness to understand that it's not a perfect engine. Like, I know that there's flaws and that there's engines that do things better. Like, if you're trying to do something really high fidelity, then don't use Godot, use Unreal, right? Engines have different strengths, so there is no good or bad engine. And, you know, I mess with Unity, and although I didn't personally enjoy Unity, there's nothing wrong with Unity by any means. So we can have like 70 different methods, but what we do is what we are, we work toward, and we are here, so it's okay, yeah. It's all good. And that's another thing too, is like, you know, programming is... It's like behind the scenes, so if it works, it kind of doesn't matter how pretty it is. I mean, you know, at some point you want to refactor and just make it easier for you yourself to interact with your code and edit and modify, but nobody's gonna care. Like, that's the thing. All that matters is that it works for you. So nobody's gonna look at your code, and I mean, you know, if you have people modding, then sure, but it's not that big of a deal. I love how Godot updates the sprites in-game like that, because it makes it so easy for me to change stuff, to change textures. I'm just like, bam, and then it's here. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I am happier with that sprite. I don't know, there's something, I think around the eyes I need like a little bit of a darker zone, but it's getting there. I think just like a little bit of like a shadow kind of thing or something. I don't know. Maybe like that. I just feel like it needs like a little more contrast around the eyes. I think that helps a bit. Yeah, I think that's about where I want it. How do I check if a number is even? 1 false, if 2 true, 3 no. Yeah. Oh man. Hey, Z-Ment, thank you. Z-Ment, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Our thing worked. Thank God. We had an issue with that little overlay thing. It didn't activate, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I messed that up. No, you're all good. Yeah, what I mean is A, programming is creative, and B, our target is to make a game. Yeah, exactly. If it's stupid and it works, then it isn't stupid. Exactly. Yeah, all your technical reasonings fall into the trash can when a player puts their hand on the game and only cares about their experience. Yeah. Because that's really what programming is for, is just to create an experience for somebody. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the code is. Worked for weeks to make my code prettier, and I had to defend it with my boss. know that you didn't see it, but but it works better internally now, yeah. And that's the thing too, it's like there's nothing also wrong with spending a lot of time to refactoring and making your code prettier. Because I've done that a lot with Starground, and it's just because it makes development so much faster. I've had some old code in the game that just was, you know, bad, and wasn't kind of fitting in with what I wanted for the game, so I just went back and changed a lot of that. It also gets really tricky sometimes with modding, because you have to keep everything very accessible to people to add on to. So, yeah, the way that I found that works really well for me is with data tables. Because essentially all the data for this stuff, it's like data-driven programming, where it's all just kind of stored in here as just info that gets accessed, and then that data gets turned into the game, you know? So, like, recently we made the entities table, so every entity in the game is now stored inside of this table. So, it's just good, because then people can be like, okay, I'm gonna modify the HP of this enemy, but the thing is that multiple people can modify the same thing. So one person might increase the HP in a mod, and then one person might increase the speed in a mod. So it's just good to have it very open like that. It really minimizes the issues that you run into, so. But yeah, I think that system's been working. You know, it's hard, because it's the first time I've ever really done something like that. But now that I've messed around with it and stuff, I think it is the way forward for Starground. I think it's been working pretty well. Okay. Yeah, we got the new enemy in, so you'll probably get started on a new guy now. We'll also need to work on new rooms. You can see some of the new rooms that I worked on. There's like a donut room, and there's also this room, which is kind of funny. It's got like a larger section in the center, right? And then the little small ones on the outsides. So yeah. But it works. I also want to get around to new obstacles. Right now we just have the spikes, but I think I would like to add some new hazards. We've been programming for over 20 years. It's all about describing data and how you manage that. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, as you get better at programming, I feel like it's just a matter of less and less actual programming, which is good, right? Because it's just more about how the best way to design things. Really, programming, I think, is all about design. I don't know. Because I don't honestly add that much code into the game these days. Like, I mean, I obviously I program, but I think more of what I'm doing now is restructuring to minimize code, and I think that's a good thing. I'm not minimizing just for the sake of minimizing, though. I think just minimizing for simplifying the logic behind it. I think that's an important distinction. Alex, do you really dig the style of the zone? Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it's coming along. It's like a sort of like a desert, dusty zone. So yeah, it's going pretty good. I've spent a lot of time on shader stuff. You can see the square following the player. you can't zoom out normally this much, but when you're zoomed in normal, it just applies this little like windy dust effect over everything. So I think it helps tie in the vibe I'm going for. But yeah, this zone is definitely coming along. You got the new rooms and stuff. I think what I just need to focus on is like enemies and the boss is something I'm really gonna have to start doing. And you got the zip lines. I need to add sounds to the zip lines because right now it's just silent. But yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I think these guys are about where I want. Right now they work the exact same as the Pecky, like the mosquito guys. So we're gonna change that a little bit probably. I mean, they're gonna be about the same concept as the Pecky, but they'll be a little different. But you are programming less code than you do? Yeah. It kind of makes me understand that whole thing of like senior programmers never actually code, because they probably don't. They probably just spend most of their time designing, right? Because I think that's the true, like, challenge of programming. I think anybody can learn how to write code, but I think, like, designing your code is so much more complex. Like, thinking about how do these systems interact and, like, achieving all the things, checking off all your boxes of, like, okay, my game's multiplayer, my game has modding, and so it's how do you design stuff around all those constraints. But yeah. Yeah, it's about design, how you understand the data, computers just input, output. Yeah. Yeah, right? I mean, it's all just data. Which is pretty crazy that we can just turn a bunch of zeros and ones into stuff. Right? It's cool. Are they gonna shoot? I don't know. I don't think so. These guys are probably gonna, like, go in toward the player and drill in. But I would like a ranged enemy in here somewhere. Sorry to use such terrifying terminology. Yeah. Do you have any deadlines for this expansion? Yeah, this update's gonna be May 16th. That date's been pretty, like, hard set for a while. So yeah, I'm just kind of grinding out stuff for that. It's going pretty well. I mean, we've only been working on this since a couple weeks ago, I guess. I'd say, like, I don't know, April 8th or something is, like, when we finally dived into everything. So it's going pretty good. A lot of the work, honestly, was just behind the scenes. Again, that whole refactoring thing. What I had to do was kind of change how, like, the dungeons get generated and stuff. And also modify, like, how dungeon regions are set up in here. Before, it was just all the same rooms and stuff, but now I have it where you can define how many levels there are in a dungeon, and then also what kinds of rooms spawn there. So the starting room, the regular rooms, the required rooms, which is stuff like the boss room and the exit room, which enemies spawn there, and then also what decorations spawn there. So it's just a good way to, like, yeah, keep that all data driven. But yeah, this will be really good for modding. Now that I've kind of finally got this working for more dungeons, it means that people can easily mod in dungeons too. So it'll be interesting to see that. I might make a dungeon mod just for fun one day, just to see how it is. You know. Yeah, system architecture design, man, but still it's just the same. Yeah. So this looks awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think I like traditional coding more than game engine coding because I can code everywhere with my laptop. That's fair. I personally really enjoy gameplay program, like video game programming over regular old programming. I don't know, I think just the visual element of it. The thing that I love about it is the drawing, I think. I mean, programming's fun and all, but I really love drawing these sprites and stuff. It's like a good little side path, you know? I just love it with game development, like how many different disciplines I can get involved in with sound and art and programming and all this stuff, you know? I think it's just fun. But yeah, traditional coding, just like, yeah, VS Code or something. I totally understand that. I mean, it's fun. It's also fun to do stuff like that every once in a while, too. Game engine doesn't mean you have to make a universal generic game engine. It just means you have to make it work for that specific issue. Yeah. It's not about heaviness, it's about not needing to use the mouse so much. So you just don't like graphical GUIs. Because you can, I think you can use Godot without an interface, I believe, if you really wanted to. Because the funny thing is, Godot is made in Godot. Like, the editor of Godot is made in Godot. So it means that you must be able to make things without the editor, right? Your own game engine is easy if you forget you need to do a universal works for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, like I think it's not too bad to make an engine if it's hyper specialized. Like it would be a pain to make something like Godot because you need to have 3D and 2D and all this stuff, right? But if it's just a super specific kind of thing, then I don't think it'd be terrible. You're making art and program, it's like making a clay golem and then making it walk around. Yeah, right? That's really cool. So, hey, K-Mac, what's up? Art set is my downfall. We're getting there, though. Yeah. It's all just, practice makes perfect, right? Art and programming, you just gotta keep doing it. I used to really suck at programming and art, honestly. I used to really suck at pixel art, too. But, you know, over time, as I've done it more, I've just started to get a lot better at it, so... And I think one of the biggest things that help, too, is just getting faster at it, because then it doesn't matter so much if something isn't perfect, right? If it's not really what you want, then you can do it so fast you can just restart. So... But yeah. Okay, here's the pots. I wanted to make a big pot, I think, for this zone. Godot's lightweight and can run on any laptop. Yeah, that's one of the things I love about Godot, because when I was in university and stuff, I did a lot of development on my laptop for Starground. So it was nice that it could run there just fine, you know? Alright, this is a pot. I think we do something like that. Let's just keep this one darker for a minute. I don't like this pot design, but we'll keep working at it. I mean, it's okay, I guess, but... Yeah, Gamedev is the ultimate amalgamation of all disciplines. It really is. I think that's... Yeah, I do love that part of it. Because I think it would... Honestly, I would really not enjoy... just sheer straight-up programming. Like, working for a company like Intel or something, I'd probably lose my mind. I'd probably go insane. But... Game development, though, it's fun. Let's do this. This just doesn't fit the vibe I want. Let's do this. There we go. That takes too long. That's why I make small pixel art or using text. Yeah. And that's another route too, right? It's like, if you aren't very good at art, then you can just come up with an idea that plays to your strengths, right? Like something that's very light on the art. Totally works. It's dog fooded? Yeah, it is. Which I always thought was a really cool thing. I think it's just a good model to develop things, you know, if like other people are going to be using it, right? And that's like what I try to do a lot with the modding, is like program things in the game using the modding API, so that if I can do it, then everyone else can too, right? See, how do I want to do the shading on this? I don't know how I want to do the shading on this. Imagine it's going to be darker toward the bottom. Nah, let's do, I think this will look better. Just like a circle, right? I think that's more the vibe I want with this. Make this, like, not sharp. Alright, let me read through everything. Sorry, I'm taking so long to read the chats. Hate the concept of talent. Yeah. I don't think, like... I feel like everything is learnable, right? I don't think there's anything in the world that's like some people are just better at. Because I think really when it comes down to it, it's just how much time you spend doing it. But I really do think basically anybody can learn whatever they want, right? It's just a matter of how much time you spend. Kind of don't like this pot. I think I'm gonna redo this. I don't think this is the vibe I wanted for the pot. I wanted this to be like... maybe that. And maybe this needs to be smaller. Just mess with that. I wanted it to be more like this. Right? And stretch this up. I think this is more the vibe I wanted. Like more, not so round, but more like cylindery. But no, this is the vibe I want, I think. There we go. Yeah, pawn, exactly. It wasn't. Yeah, the other design whack. My only exception would be working for a company that's doing measurable and real good, and I could deal with the slog of just general app dev. Yeah, that's fair. I could see that. I mean, yeah, it's not the kind of thing for me where it's like it would be impossible for me, but I just definitely would prefer to not do that, you know? Hey, Robbie, what's up? Welcome in. Can there be a company that does good? Hopefully that's Big Boy Games LLC, guys. No, I don't know. I think those big companies, everyone is just sitting in a room trying to work out how everyone else in the same room still has a job. Yeah. Man. Yeah, everyone's trying to work out and mimic... Ectoers? I can't. I don't know. What about art? Yeah, I think like it's like that with everything, right? I think definitely anyone can learn how to draw. It's just a matter of how much you practice, right? I said, loved all. Thank you, Big Boy Games. Yeah, and thank you. I appreciate it. Just want to see a world where we can have different ideas and still talk and be together. Yeah. Thank you both for being here now. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Gonna go to sleep now. That was my magnum opus. Yeah. Sounds great. Well, thank you. Have a good rest of your night. And thanks again so much for the sub and everything. That's awesome. Personally, people struggle reading deflex messages, make me realize I've developed a skill. Yeah. I don't know, I just couldn't, it wasn't computing for me. I can give it another shot, though. Some letters together, yeah. Man. Oh, mimic each other's strategy. Oh, each other. I was like, is that a streamer or something? Who is that? Okay. Okay, now that makes sense. My bad. Also, I realized with this sprite, it makes way more sense to do this. Have this be on the bright side. think this is how I want it. Right, because like this is where the top surface is or whatever for the pot. So it makes sense if that's where it's brightest. But now I just gotta work out how it's gonna look. I think we do that. And that goes to right there. I think that's about right. Shading can be kind of tricky sometimes, even with just basic stuff. Where's my mouse lagging? No, I don't like that. Maybe like that, I think how it was before. I think that's good, and then I can have like a little shine down here, but I don't want it to be like this big thing, right? Yeah, that's about where I want it. I think I'm happy with that. So let's do it. And this sprite's gonna be 21 tall. Well, I should be 22. Time for creating the actual gameplay? Yeah. What is the gameplay gonna be for your game, Oshik? Because, I mean, you're gonna be a guy, right? Or no, yeah, it's like a colony sim. Never mind. I answered my own question. Yeah. Okay, the sprite is too dark, so we're gonna brighten up to the next color. There we go. Alright, this will be saved as big pot. Pot big. I'm printing a little stand. I don't have it open, but it looks like this. Where there's like a little rectangle tray thing, right? Like this. There's a little bar that goes across here. And then it has like these here. Like these little triangles. This drawing sucks, but it's okay. It looks like this. This is a terrible drawing, but side view, it's like, it's got a triangle and then a tray. And then what you do is you tilt the jar on it like this. So it basically just holds up the jar and then the water will drain out into the little dish right here. So, hopefully that makes sense. But it's for growing sprouts. Sprouts. They're like in a jar. Grow them in a jar. These little things. You can grow them in soil, but it's convenient to grow them in a jar like this because then you don't have to deal with any dirt. But it's really cool. You just put a bunch of seeds in a jar basically, and then wait for them to sprout. Hence the name. So yeah, the stand is to make sure that when you go completely vertical with the jar, the water will tend to not drain very well because the sprouts like clog the filter, the mesh that you put on top. So this stand is just keeping it at a 45 so that the water does drain out, but it doesn't clog the mesh. I'm sure that print will be done during the stream, so I can show it off when it's ready. But yeah. It's cool though. I don't really have a garden. I mean, my dad has a garden. I mean, it's kind of a family garden, I guess. I'm still living with my parents because I can't afford anything. But maybe one day I will be able to. But yeah, it'd be cool to have a garden. I've definitely, think it would be nice. No, that's fine. Okay, let's go into decorations. Should go on, yeah. I would like to. I've always enjoyed growing stuff. I think it'd be fun too. This decoration, big pot. Okay. Gardening seems like such a fulfilling thing. Yeah. It's kind of nice. I've grown a lot of stuff before. I don't know. It's like raising these little guys. It's like raising children. I mean, not on the same level, obviously, because it's just a plant, but it's like rewarding, you know, seeing them prosper and grow, and then you get a nice little reward out of it. You get to eat them. Sounds morbid, but but yeah. It's cool though. It's kind of hard though. You know, like all the vegetables and stuff you see in the store are perfect, right? But then when you actually try and grow them to that quality at home, it's really hard because, you know, there's bugs and worms and they eat your crops, and I can understand why farmers use pesticides because, you know. Portion rally would just be growing plants from car exhaust. Live inside of a Chevy factory? Man, that's too bad. Also, we got ads starting soon. My apologies. I'm not Italian. I am Irish. My ancestors come from Ireland. So, but maybe. I mean, I probably have some Italian. I have no idea. I honestly don't really know much. I know my grandma was from Ireland, and that's about it. And I think some Russian or something. I probably have some Italian descent somewhere. I should do like a DNA test and actually see what I am. Because I don't have any idea. I mean, like, my grandma lived in Ireland, but that doesn't mean that I'm, like, genetically Irish, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know if, like, her parents were in Ireland either. I have no idea. Let's see. Decoration. Oh yeah, we gotta go into the loot table now. I'm white AF. Yeah, I'm pretty white. But that's okay. Okay, Tefra.
Fake boy, half Nigerian.
I don't think I'm half Nigerian, but wouldn't that be a crazy plot twist? If I was actually... No. It'd be crazy. I could be, you never know, but I have my doubts. That would be a wild revelation. Alright, we got the big pot. I think we could throw more decorations in there. Dylan did draw all these decorations over here on Miro. These are some of them. We did some of these. We did the skull and the trash can and the weed. I'd like to do more of these, though. I like the metal fragments and stuff. Maybe we could do, like, another little sand pile. Because the one sand pile is kind of, yeah. It starts to repeat a lot. Satellite says superior skin color, according to him. Yeah. Interesting. There's our big pots. I think those look good. I do need to offset their Y position. They need to go up by about 3. So let's do that. Well, if they went up 2, yeah, I think they need to go up 3. Ads. I hate the ads, guys. Also think this isn't rounded enough. So let's do that. Maybe it's just because we don't need these outlines here. Let's try that. Why is it not updating the texture? Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's better. Cool. All right, and ads are over. Sorry about the ads, everybody. I know the 3 ad really sucks. I hate it just as much as everyone else does, but... Or the 3-minute ad. But I think it's better than having to get constantly interrupted every 30 minutes. So... Because it's just like, boom, deal with the ad, and now we're good for a minute. So that weed is way off. Where is it? Weed, that shouldn't be 7. I think let's only go... Maybe like 4 instead with that one. Alright. So I'm gonna pursue legal action because he's under slander. Yeah. Man. It's not the same color. That's true, that's true. Hey, Saiku, what's up? If you knew the lore, you'd know Sotobot is a newer, more superior model. Okay. What is this, Hellscape? Yeah, this is a new dungeon planet for Starground. It's dusty here. We're just kind of working on random stuff right now. We've got this enemy kind of working. I need to think about exactly what this enemy is going to do. In Dylan's concept art, they, like, attach onto the player and drill out their head. But I'm trying to think of how... Because it's kind of tricky to make an entity latch onto the player like that. Yeah, I don't know. I might just make them kind of like this, where they just do more damage than the Pecky, you know? Also, I don't know what happened, but they're not attacking anymore. Yeah, spit at you. I don't know, I do want to do like a ranged enemy like that. It would be cool, especially if it's a ranged flying enemy. But I think it would be a different enemy. We've got some other ideas for guys, so... Yeah, something's broken with their code. They seem to just stop attacking. I think I know what's up, though. If we go back into our flying enemy script. So I think what happened is I hit them, and so it says right here. I don't know why I'm pausing the attack timer. That doesn't make any sense. No, I would have to say paused is false. I think that's our issue. I accidentally made them pause. So if we zap them again, they should start attacking now. After like 5 seconds or whatever. Maybe it's not paused, it's false. No, it must be. Attack timer that paused is false. It's only if it is the server, yeah. Because this is pausing it. Should be okay. Let's just kill him. Maybe I need to... But yeah, I don't know if their script is actually going to update, so let's go find some new ones. Then let me just make sure that this will work. So if I stop those guys, they should attack again. Yeah, okay, we're good. That has been fixed. Hey, well, Yesh, thank you for the follow. Alright, let me read all this. Your Honor, this is no good miscreant citizen from this leafy area of California has filed a lawsuit against myself, an upstanding taxpayer in society. Yes, you may have screenshots of me saying outrageous slurs on a daily basis. But ask yourself, Your Honor, what slurs do you say under your breath? Anyways, I submitted evidence that said Lex is a real human, in fact, is a robot and is unable to sue and doesn't have standing under our laws. That's kind of a good point. I don't think robots can vote and stuff, right? Oh, man. I think in 2027 when AI takes over and we lose all our jobs. Yeah. We're gonna become a judge. Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. As long as the robots aren't doing the judging. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we've got the funny guys. We need to draw their corpses because right now it's still the Pecky corpse, so let's do that. It's pretty easy to draw corpses. Basically just take the sprite and kind of mash it up. Kind of squish it together and make it gray. Like I'm just gonna take this leg and just kind of splay it out, you know, like that. Same with this guy. Same with this leg. Just like splay it out in front. That's not how it was. And then these legs probably wouldn't be very visible because they're going to be like behind, right? Splayed out behind. And I have no idea what's going on in here. There we go. Let's see. Bop. Keep these like above. And then eyes will go black. The wings will be kind of, you know, falling down. Let's flip layers, flip vertical. Right, it'll be kind of like that. Why can't I delete? Oh. Let's do that. Okay. Something like that. I think it's the job done. And then make it gray. My goal is to instruct the AI that we are pivotal to long-term success. Without anomalies, the system will never reach its potential. Interesting. That's a good point, though. Right? Technically, we make the AI smarter, so they should keep us around. Then I think this back drill thing should be like up more. And I think the wing should be kind of like pushed up a little bit. I think that'll do. And then this wing is too perfect and bright. Should have some damage. Yeah, that's good enough. Boring corpse. Every time I watch you doing pixel art, I feel like I'm missing out. It's fun to just move segments like this, not to worry about your surface geometry. Yeah. But don't worry. Because you have it easy the other way. The thing is that small sprites like this are really easy to just quickly bam and move things around, but boy, when it comes to boss sprites and stuff though, you can't do that really, right? Like moving stuff around means having to redraw massive, yeah, right? So, you know, there's pros and cons for sure. That's why all the bosses in Starground now, I just model it in Blender, because I'm tired of drawing them. Dreadcap is, you know, just a big 3D model, and then I render him out into pixel art. I've gone through and kind of cleaned pixels up in here, but Yeah, I think it's a really good way for large sprites like this. It's just so much work to draw by hand. It's not worth it. Like, it's just better to do it in Blender. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I mean, it doesn't look that weird, right? Like, I feel like it still fits in with the vibe and the style. It's pretty interesting how much, like, just throwing on a palette and adding an outline can, like, make it look like pixel art, you know? So, but yeah, I think it works. Okay, so corpse sprint is done. Let's go back into our entities table. Finally fixed my spacebar, and now you can play more than Stardew. What was wrong with your spacebar? I mean, these guys will probably just have the same sounds as the Pecky, but I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Yeah, the idea of down-resing renders, yeah. I think it's a pretty interesting technique. And even if you're not, like, using the straight-up render for the art, I think it's still useful for, like, just, like, a frame of reference, too, right? Like, if you're drawing, like, a big building interior or something with lots of complicated angles and perspectives, then it's pretty easy to just quickly model and block in some things in Blender, then render it out, and then go over it with pixel art, you know? I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. To some people, that might be, like, cheating, but I don't think there's any such thing as cheating. I don't think that's real. It's just, you know, it's a tool. Why not take advantage of it if it's faster and better, right? I don't know. I have to hold it for like a second really hard for one space. That's whack, yeah. I just stabbed under the switch trying to remove it and it fixed it. Let's go. It's a silly thing, and sometimes I catch myself holding to weird rules like this, and then I realize, wait, what? I hold myself this silly rule? Exactly, right? Yeah. Man, it's just the one-off thing that happened. That's what I keep saying, yeah. It's a good shortcut, exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah, I like, it's all just, again, it's all just creative, right? Like, modeling stuff out and then rendering it will give things a different style, but that's fine. It doesn't mean that that's a bad style. It's just whatever you want, right? If that's the style you want, then I see absolutely no issue with it. And I think something about it too is interesting for Starground, because like those are the only sprites I do it with. So it kind of makes them have like a certain quality that makes them stand out from regular enemies. Like how they're kind of animated more smoothly and stuff. I think it just works in more ways than one, right? So. Okay. I think these guys are pretty much ready to go. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to. They come in for the attack. I might change their sounds up a little bit from the Pecky, just so they're not... Oh. I clipped the spike. But I think that'll work. We can probably get started on the rest of the enemies now. Those guys were kind of easy, just because they are basically a reskin of the Pecky, so... But the next ones might not be. Yeah, it's all about finding an effective workflow that gets you consistency. Exactly, yeah. I totally agree. Alright, so what do we want to do next? We've got these different decorations we could do. I kind of want to do... Spoiling. Hold on, hey. Find the right. These guys, I like the idea of there being a hive that you have to destroy. It's like an enemy spawner. So these hives would just spawn these little guys, these guys. I think that could be kind of fun to do. And this is basically sort of a type of obstacle, I guess. I guess really this would be a type of enemy. So I'd have to figure out how to spawn that properly. But I think that could be cool. But yeah. And it spawns these little guys that attack you. Like a little swarm of flying guys. It'd be cool if I like randomize their flying position, so some are really close to you and some are farther away. I think that would just be cool. And they'd have like a really short cooldown on their attacks. So yeah, that could be cool. I had to think about how to spawn this in, like, because I guess this would technically be a building. I mean, I guess I could just make the building a part, like an enemy. The only thing, though, is that it has to have health. Like, it has to be so you can attack it. So I have to think about how this is gonna work. Because it's a weird kind of building. It's like a weird in-between, right? And also the thing is that in our dungeon script for when we create the enemies, I have to make sure that this is gonna work. I don't think I really do much for the enemy generation. Like, I think I just say, you know, set your position. Okay, so there's a couple things in here. So I say enemy, all the enemy stuff. I set their position. I say the room reference is self, which is fine. I can keep that in the new thing. Drop loot. And then I push it back. So there's not really that many variables in here and stuff that I need to mess with. Yeah, it's gonna be weird because they are an enemy, but they are also they're also a building. So I'm trying to think what makes sense. Like, should they just be... I guess I'll just make them an entity that doesn't move. Kind of like the mushroom. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Because then I don't have to worry about all this stuff in here. So let's go ahead and draw a hive. I imagine that this is just going to be about double the size of the player or something. Not sure yet, but something around this size, probably. Or maybe even a little larger. I don't know yet. Could go 48. And I actually really like how Dylan drew the hive, so I'm just gonna copy that. We'll convert this into pixel art. About that size. I mean, I don't know. What would look right in game? I need it to be large enough, these holes, for the little guys to come through. I imagine they're gonna be about 8 by 8 or something. So this will probably be fine. Yeah. Okay. And we're just gonna kind of redraw things here a little bit. I wish I had like a pixel perfect pencil tool. I know A-Sprite has that, but you know, I'm living in the Stone Ages over here. Well, let's not worry about the outline, I guess, right? Let's just worry about the actual sprite right now. We'll just do the outline later. So kind of like that. There's gonna be a lot of cleanup on this, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and replace all these different pixels. So black will become that. Let's just make these filled in. Boom, boom. Do that. Global. Oh. How does that? Okay, whatever. How does that one do it? Okay, whatever. Alright, this will work. Now we're gonna go through and clean up. Okay. Bing, boom. Some yellow in there. Right in there. Let's get this going up around here. Boom. We're gonna go through and fix those holes and stuff. Okay, that's not too far off from where we want it. I do like the twisty nature of this hive. It's kind of cool. It's like swirly. I don't know how to describe it. I think it'd be cool if we kind of followed that pattern a little bit with this down here. It kind of twists around these holes. It's almost like wood, you know? Yeah. Smiley face, is it? Like maybe right here. Like this looks like a frog guy. If you copy this and then, right, it's like a face. It's kind of a scary face, but. Boom, boom. Fix this one. Somewhere around there. Okay, now we can go through an anti-alias. And swap out the colors for the regular colors. Yellow. Or darker color. Which we could do as the coppery color. I kind of like the look of that. Sort of like that. And we can anti-alias with these. Maybe we'd want to go through here in some regions. This would probably just be this color here. I'm trying to think how this would make sense perspective-wise. I guess like that. These really should probably extend, bulge more out then. So like that, there we go. Let's see, we're gonna have this right here. Do a little bit of anti-aliasing on the edges here. Something like that. Now we're getting pretty close. I think that's looking pretty good. I like the motion that this has, you know? Just the way, like, it's all wavy and stuff is kind of cool. And I think this should be indented. Yeah. Alright. So here's a little hack that sometimes I use. It's not a hack, it's just for outlining. Is I just use this tool. I know it's stupid, but you can do like that. And then delete the transparent pixels. There probably is like a good tool specifically for pixel art outlining for paint.net. I should probably look into that. Because it would definitely be helpful. And then just delete the bottom outline. There we are. Call this one boring hive. Now, if it's too big, we can scale it back down. Hopefully the size is okay. We'll see. And yeah, I think we're going to make it an entity. Just because it's kind of what it is. I think it makes sense. And it can have a corpse and everything, right? For this, I think I'm going to say... Let's see. The corpse lifespan. I want this to be pretty large, or it's going to be infinite, so 0, I think. How many monitors do I have? I have 3 monitors. The third one is more... I don't use it as much. Mainly, I'm just using my main one and the one on the left. But... I use the one on the left for when I'm streaming, at least. I have OBS pulled up. Otherwise, it's usually just a YouTube video or something on the left. And the right one is like extra space if I need it. I'm not always using it all the time, but it's nice to be able to have it there. Right now I have Miro over there, so I have the hive up for reference, so you know, it's helpful. But man, I don't know how I would survive with only 2 or only 1 monitor. That's insane to me. 2 monitors for me is a bare minimum now. You know. Okay, this hive is gonna have a lot of health because it's just stationary, so I'm thinking like 50 or something. Damage is 0, speed 0. Damage sounds, I don't really know yet. We'll decide on that. Right now, we'll just keep it as what it is. We're gonna have to definitely change these values, but this is just to test right now. And then let's get the moon shroom. We're just gonna duplicate that. Boring hive. And we're gonna modify. So what script does this even have? It just has... Okay, it does have its own script. We're gonna delete that script, create a new one. Boring hive. Extends enemy. Yeah, 2 is key. I got a new monitor a while back and just used 1. Just lost without the second. Yeah. It's hard. You don't realize how useful a second monitor is until you don't have one. So. This isn't really going to have attack, start, or end or anything. I'm going to delete those. But before I do that, make unique. I don't think making that unique actually matters. It seems like it doesn't change anything, but I don't want to have any issues. Let's go get the hive. The boring hive. It's really boring, guys. Oh, okay. It's gonna be probably centered somewhere around there. Minus 16, right? We'll see, maybe a little less. Minus 14. Don't know yet. This collision shape needs to change. Make it larger. Somewhere around 24. Now let's go just 20. Okay. Then the shadow, this isn't gonna work. Maybe we'd put a shadow underneath. It'd have to be like the 80 shadow. Oh, that's too big. 46 shadow. Yeah, that'll work. And we just offset it a little bit like that. Okay. Probably can never go back to 1, yeah. My setup is I can't do any wall mounting because the other side is my shower. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any, I don't have a wall behind my desk. It's open, so. But I think stands are pretty nice, like mounting the monitors to your desk with a stand. That's always worked pretty well for me. Okay, we got the flash. We can delete that now. Take damage, charge attack, and attack. I don't really want those to exist. And then we're going to mark this as having custom logic. So it will be a required kill. It will be not melee. We're not going to enable attack. Won't navigate. It will have a health bar. And that's about it. So now we can modify. Do I have a sword? I do have Adventure Times. Is this what you're talking about, or do you mean in game? Is Finn's sword? I forget the actual name of the sword, but it's like the first one he has. Yeah. Pretty epic. Had this sword for a while. I've had that for like over 15 years now, I think. Something like that. A long time. We need new skateboards. That'd be fun. Yeah, like an upgraded skateboard? Maybe. Hey, what's up, Finn? Yeah, you recognize that sword. Yeah, it's your sword. It's the Finn sword. It's your only means to protect yourself. Why'd you take your full addresses again? Nah, it's okay. I own weapons. Don't worry. Oh yeah, that on demand. Yeah, it's just sitting over there on my table. So. 15 older than you. Yeah, I got it when I was pretty young. I got it like pretty much, I think around when like Adventure Time came out. It was like 2010 or something. I was pretty young. Yeah, it's been 15 years now since 2010. Sorry to make everyone feel old. Did you hear me and D-Flex are getting a restraining order? Yeah? Good for you, Finn. Let's see here. Oh god, I froze the editor. You take damage. We don't need a step sound on this. Alright, so we're just gonna have a timer on here for how often it spawns in the enemy. This entity, quote unquote, is gonna be a pretty basic entity. It's just gonna say every 5 seconds or something, spawn an enemy. And connect timeout to the hive. And then that's pretty much it. Just say in here, Brent, hee I spawned. And I can't type. And we have to go crate the other enemy before we can actually do it. So. Okay, so loot table, I need to add it to the pool. What's nice about the loot in Starground is that it's weighted, so I can choose how often things spawn. You know, so I can go up to here. Loot Enceladus. Loot enemies Tephra, so we're gonna copy that. We're gonna add in Boring Hive. And it'll be pretty rare, because I don't want a million hives everywhere. That'd be kind of bad. Let's go take a look. So yeah, it's not going to do anything, but I'm just kind of looking for size comparison and stuff, and like making sure that it's going to look okay. We may have to shrink the sprite down from 48 to 32. It's not a big deal. It's actually not that bad. We just have to redo the outline. But well, let's see how it looks first, because you know, it can be tricky. There's a lot of empty space in this sprite because it's round, so it's probably going to look smaller than it actually is, you know, so I need to see what it's like in game first. Okay, the editor's gone. It's probably going to full crash. Oh, we're good. Yeah, I finally updated to 4.4.1, so I finally don't have that stupid issue where it keeps asking me to reload from the disk. It's getting annoying. Alright, let's go find some hives. Oh. Oh, I didn't set an ID. I'm stupid. I have to say Starground entity boring hive. Otherwise, it's not going to know what it's supposed to be. And it should have printed out here. Yeah, not set for boring hive. Alrighty. Ugh, man. Ugh. Saving seed. Ugh. Okay. This better work. This better look flawless. Now we'll see. Any hives? No. No hives. These guys seem like stupid babies, but it's because I have a good sword, so I'm not gonna debuff them yet. I'm gonna run into here with a weaker weapon just to make sure that everything's like balanced, but yeah. Hey, Deblato. Just found a security flaw in an API on a website. Oh, yeah? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know enough about that stuff to, like, actually find issues. Oh, there's one. Check it out, guys. So I think the size is pretty good. That's about how I want it. Right, so we can break it. And then it'll stop the enemies from spawning. Oh, it doesn't actually go away right now. I need to say, I think in... function process super delta if has died then queue free. There we go. Yeah, it spawns in that corpse, but we'll fix that. Pretty basic issue. They forgot to protect all their endpoints with their bearer token. Bearer token. I don't know much about, like, web security. Oh, okay, so it's just, like, their token. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, dangerous. Keep that stuff protected. Yeah, I wish I knew more about, like... I mean, I did take cybersecurity and stuff, but... I don't know. The problem with school is it's so, like, isolated in how it teaches you things. It wasn't like it showed us a website with a vulnerability. Like, it's just like, here's the concepts behind it. And then I just have to... I don't know. I wish that class actually showed me real vulnerabilities and, like, how they happen and stuff, you know? But whatever. Very dangerous mistake to make since it was the admin panel API. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah. Show you what's in that. No, I'm good. But yeah. Also, yeah, sorry that I didn't reply back to that message, by the way, you sent me. I'm gonna read it on stream right now. Reply. Yeah, so the thumper will just spawn in old, like, what it does is it regenerates the resource nodes. It used to create new ones, but it was very bad for performance, so now it just regenerates them. Yeah, because that's the case, it'd be nice to have some kind of building to spawn new nodes. Yeah. Seeded mining resources. Yeah, that could be a cool thing to be able to choose where the nodes go with like a tool or an item, a consumable item or something. So I could definitely put that down as a possibility for the future. But yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we can go ahead and start working on the little guy. Yeah, see, this is the only issue though, is that since these are so big, sometimes they'll like overlap and stuff. I don't know if that's gonna be a huge issue or not. I'm probably just going to like balance their spawn rate so that it's pretty rare for there to ever be two in one room. So yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, and this has to be on auto start. And whenever it's in here, I want to say the Y scale of the main sprite. So we're going to say that's scale.y is equal to 0.75 or something. And then I want it to lerp back. So we're going to say get tree dot create tween, call it var tween, dot tween property, main sprite, scale, final value will be vector do 1 1 over the course of 0.5 seconds. And now I also have to say tween.set trans. I want this to be, I don't know, we could probably just do exponential. Tween.set ease will be ease out. So it should like do like a little I don't know how to describe it. I'll just show you guys what it does. I'm joking. School teaches you what school should do, to be honest. You don't get to know this stuff without spending some free time. Yeah, that's fair. Pen testing and bug bounty hunting requires creativity. Personally, don't believe school teaches you that. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish they just explained how to recognize stuff like that easier. Like, I know the concepts behind all that stuff, but I don't know what it actually looks like practically. And I think that's something that could be taught pretty easily. Just create an example. Because how else am I supposed to know where to start with that kind of thing? I don't know. You love this game? Let me see. Oh, Satisfactory? Yeah. Yeah, it can get pretty crazy. YouTube, not gonna say anything more than YouTube. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could learn that stuff from YouTube. I just wish that I didn't have to go through years of university and not learn anything. But it's fine. Because also, if I'm paying $50,000, it's kind of a abrupt moment. Should we watch Starground 1995 Hacker? Yeah. Okay, it should do the little animation. Oh, there, it did it. So it just does a tiny little wiggle for when it spawns in an enemy. It just goes boom, you know. It's definitely going too fast though. I don't think this should be exponential. This should probably be like maybe sine. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's a little better. And I think increase the length of this just a little bit. That's maybe a little bit too linear. Let me see what different ones are here. Maybe we just want quad. Like, I don't want it to be as quick as exponential, but let's try quad. Let's see. Quad's about where I want it, I think. It's just a little visual feedback for when something gets spawned in. Destroy it. Destroy. Yeah, I think that'll work as an entity. You know, it's weird having like a building as an entity, but I think it just makes sense. University teaches you how to be a worker. Finish the assignment. Yeah, one given to you. University and school in general doesn't really teach you to give yourself assignments. Yeah. Okay. Also, the print is done. You guys want to take a look at that? Let me go get it. Now, I hope this one doesn't fail. I did print 3 of these, but they all failed. Look at this layer. Look at this stupid layer. So hopefully that isn't a problem this time. It looks way better. I don't know what happened that time I printed it. I did leave my window open overnight, so maybe it got too cold in there and the layers started to delaminate. It's possible. Yeah, I don't really know. But let's just hope and pray this one's okay. Sometimes it's hard to get these off the plate when it's hot. Especially with all the glue. Glue is the way, though, to do plate adhesion. For a long time I messed with hairspray, but I realized how messy and bad that was. I was like, ugh. Just putting all these fumes everywhere. The glue sticks are nice. Alright, here's the mesh. So this goes on the jar. It's looking pretty good. And then we gotta get the actual thing on. Yeah. Scraper. I'm just hoping it doesn't delaminate. Because that sucks when that happens. Basically ruins the print. But maybe getting it off while it's warm would be a good idea. I don't know. Oh. Looking good. No delamination. Alright, we're gaming. I just gotta take the supports off and we are good to go, gamers. I do need to start another print, actually. Alright. Because I gotta print 3 of these, man. I think part of what also happened when I did 3 in one print, I think it took so long to get to the next layers that they cooled down too much. And so I think it weakened the strength between the layers. So, not a big deal. I mean, whatever. Alright, should be good to just get the next one going. Hello! Okay. We're good to go. The only thing that sucks about the glue is it's all sticky on my hands now. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. All right. So let's create the little guy now. I don't want him to be too big. He's going to be kind of a small enemy. Thinking maybe like 8 by 8. Something. We'll just do it in proportion to how big this guy is. So let's just... Sometimes it's kind of nice to just draw guys like in here in a big board. I've seen a couple do that. A couple people do that method. And it's kind of fun. Alright, so this is just going to be a tiny little guy. It would be cool if they grow up into the big ones over time, you know? So it's like you kind of really want to deal with it before they become a nuisance. How'll this guy fly? So he's going to be kind of like floating on the side. probably just gonna copy it from here. Sometimes it's easier. We already have the reference art. Why redraw it? Yeah, somewhere around there. They're gonna be really tiny guys. That's only like 12 pixels tall. Okay. Its eyes are going to be bigger. Boom. All right. Like that, and then they have their little drill stinger. Hey, MRD boy, or Murd boy. What is your preferred pronunciation? Murd boy or MRD boy? Well, welcome in. What's going on? We're currently working on new enemies for the dungeon. So this is going to be like a little tiny guy that spawns in from a hive. And then he's going to... I'll probably make it so he grows up into a big one if you don't kill him. Mr. D-Boy? Oh, okay. Yeah. That works, that works. Alright, so there's something like that. Also has this other little wing down here. Okay, now we color. Go on this color. Just gonna be a little guy. Contact their support and receive some money for your time. Let's go. Nice. I think their eyes should be blue. Looks like a Binding of Isaac character or something. Okay. Let's see. So their body should probably be more like... Trying to think of how I want to draw this guy. Hard because he's so tiny. But he's got like a drill. What's the chair on the left? It's just a chair. You can spin it if you want. It's a channel point. But yeah, we a long time ago wanted chair cam on the stream, so instead of having another camera from my chair, which wouldn't make any sense, I just put an image of my chair on screen, and now it's like a little thing, a little meme, if you will. They need little arms. There's like a little arm over here on the drawing. Just kind of hangs down. I think that'll work. This is my chair. Whoa. Yeah. I'm gonna get a proper one, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's like a chair. Like a living room chair. Alright, I think this guy looks okay. He's just a baby version of the big guy. So, he's just gonna have a simple little animation. Yeah, one of those plastic ones? Yeah. I also hope you get a new chair. Then these are just gonna kind of move down. Let's see, I'll just copy and rotate. It's gonna get all warped and distorted, but it's okay. So this will probably just kind of flap down flat, right, like that. And same over here. And this one is all messed up. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I realize this guy has a outline there. Probably shouldn't. There we go. That's a little better. Alright, so this is the guy. That's pretty much it. He is 14 pixels tall. That should be a decent size, I think. How many pixels wide? 16 by 14. Oh, but I think this one is wider, isn't it? Because this one is 17? It's fine, I can just move this in. And now move this over. Oops. There we go. Animate it. Width is 16 by 14. And there's 2 frames. Yeah, I might just adjust it a little bit so maybe when he goes down, his little drill bit goes up. His head should probably also move around. Maybe the drill doesn't move up. Let's give ourselves a little more vertical room here. Why not just make it 16? Okay, let's see. Maybe this one is just kind of angled downwards, right? More like that. I don't know why it's getting cut off. Boom. Nah, his like whole body needs to move. So with this one, it's not a big deal. Let's just do that. I think that'll look better. That's a little better. And then I think his head should go up on this frame also. Yeah, something like that. Fill these in. And that should be black. Let's do this. Fix some of the wing bits here. There we go. So on this frame, the wing's going to be basically invisible. Right. Okay, so let's look at that. Yeah, it's not terrible. Except this arm, I think here should like move up or down. Let's make it move down a little bit. Like that. Same with this one. Just move it down in that direction. Yeah, that'll work. He's just a little tiny guy, so it doesn't have to be very complicated for his animation. Maybe do that there. Okay. Maybe we bump up the color of the eye just a little bit to right there. Probably not a terrible idea. Yeah, I'm happy with that sprite. So this will be Boring Junior. So we got an ad starting soon. My apologies. I can no longer snooze it. Alright, so we're going to go copy the boring. Duplicate Boring Junior. Okay, make unique on that. Sprites. Boring. Boring Junior. What a little cutie. And then he doesn't even have to be there. He just can just be centered. Well, I guess he has to be up a little bit. Let's go -8 though. Make this unique. Let's definitely shrink his collision box. Right there, -6. -7. All right. And that's pretty much it. Except I'm going to give him a new script. Boring Junior extends flying enemy. So these are the default values in here. Let me go copy the other settings from the regular boring. Okay, so he just has everything off. Okay. Okay. So he's not going to stop on hit. He's going to have a very short attack time. And his follow distance is going to be way smaller. So in function ready, I want his follow distance to be randf range from 16 to 64, anywhere in there. And he's not going to do much damage. Starground entity Boring Junior. And that's about it. And then I think I do want to put a timer on these guys so that they eventually grow up. So after, say, I don't know, 20 seconds or something, they turn into a big one. Where's my thing? What? Oh, it's because this timer, I need to call this grow timer. There we go. All right, and ads are over. Sorry, everybody, about the ads. right, so whenever they grow up, it's gonna be pretty simple. We're just gonna say load res scenes the regular boring, right? So var boring is that. Boring.global position is equal to global position. Dot instantiate. Then global.world.add child. Boring true. And this will only really happen on the server. So if is server. I mean global position. Oh. Alright, so we're creating a new boring. This is the adult one. We set its position. We're gonna say boring.velocity is equal to our velocity, right? Say Mars will come in. Yeah, there's that link. It's on Steam. Okay, so boring, set the position, set the velocity to the same. I think that's pretty much everything. And then we add him as a child to the world. And then we say Q free. So that will make him grow up. Cool. And 10 FPS on this might be too high. No, it's actually okay. All right, that's pretty much it for that. So basically it's just making him grow up after a certain amount of time. Now let me go to the entities. Somebody said, I'm gonna, yeah, Factorio and Godot, and someone said you were making a game like that. Yeah, it's an automation game. It's pretty similar. It's got a lot of the same automation mechanics as Factorio. But obviously things are a bit different when you integrate like combat. Like, Factorio is combat, but Factorio combat is like, I kind of see that as just a logistical challenge versus actually fighting guys, if that makes sense. Because it's just a matter of like, okay, make sure I have a supply of bullets instead of a wall, and that's as far as it extends, basically. So these guys are going to have very low HP, and they're going to do very low damage. Boring Junior. That should be basically it. I'll have to create a corpse for them. The corpse offset on these guys won't be that big. -4 or something. We'll see. Well, if it's half the sprite, then it should be -8. Somewhere around there. Alright. Speed damage. We should be good to go, I think. Yeah. So now in the hive, we can go ahead and finish that script, right? So that's going to say whenever the timer spawns right here, I'm going to say load boring junior instantiate. Oops. Instantiate. Var junior will be that. Junior dot global position is equal to global position. Global.world dot add child. Can't type right now. Junior true. Alright, so that should start spawning in the little guys. And let's check it out. I'm actually making Factorio and Godot right now. Using even their sprites for starters. Oh, okay. I I'll change it, put my own twist and graphics on it, just to learn what I'm doing and emulating their game. Yeah. No, that's totally fair. That's definitely one way to go about it, right? I know a lot of people do that. That's basically how Starground started too. Starground started out trying to emulate Forager. You know, this funny little game. That's the reason the guy likes the same. Because Forager is cool, but they decided to never add multiplayer, so I was kind of disappointed by that. But yeah, I'm sure you can see a lot of inspiration from this game reflected in Starground. It's definitely changed a lot since that point, especially now that we have like different planets and stuff. It's kind of plays way different than Forager, but visually it's got a similar vibe. Probably just because it's also top-down and has a cartoony aesthetic, but, you know. There you go, looks really cool though, thank you, yeah. We'll smash that Factorio and Command & Conquer, yeah. That'd be cool. Excuse me. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. I kind of want to play Command & Conquer. Like, I think at one point I had it on my computer in Origin or something, but I never, I don't know, I never really got into it. It would be fun to try, though. Oh, it's not happy. I thought I turned off navigation for these guys. Maybe not. That and flying enemy I handle that. I guess I just have to say. What did happen here, actually? Huh. Attack time. I mean, they definitely are inheriting from flying enemies, so I'm not really sure what happened. And the boring don't have any issue with that. I don't know. Odd. Especially the PvP. Yeah. Yeah, I think an automation-focused PvP game could be really interesting. They tried to do that a little bit. I'll say I thank you for the follow. They tried to do that a little bit in Factorio with, like, the PvP mode. There's a good video that Doshington did on it, of just playing through those different Factorio game modes, but I don't know, the game just isn't really designed for PvP, though, Factorio, you know? I think it would be really cool to see one that's actually meant for PvP stuff. I'm just trying to think of what's going on here. Like why it's...
Big Boy invented the indie game industry.
I definitely did not, but... Get final position and base null instance on a null instance. Just because there's no navigation agent, but there isn't in the other guy, so I'm not really sure what's up. Oh, it's because I'm not inheriting the ready event. God, I'm stupid. Okay. That's why it's not working. We're good now. Let's relaunch. I think it's a good time for indie games with the possibilities of... Yeah, right? I think definitely there's a strong pull. I mean, one thing that's always going to be difficult with indie stuff is how accessible it is. It's a good thing, but it's also means there's a lot of competition, you know, so it just is what it is. Is my printer not printing anything? It is, right? Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, that's always going to be, I think, the biggest challenge for indie developers is just competing with all of the other millions of, not millions, but thousands of indie developers. Yeah. I definitely feel that. But, you know, I think it's like how dedicated you are to it. If you really do want to make it, I think it's possible, you know. I think looking at games and stuff, like I've been looking around at like Godot games recently and like just looking at the quality of them, it's like you realize that like a lot of the times when a game does bad, it's just because it obviously looks like a bad game. You know, I think if somebody really cares actually about their game and puts in time to make it a good game and a good experience, I think it's possible. It's like with anything, if you're not going to fully, if you're not that serious about it, it's you know, it's hard to compete with the people that are, so. Yeah, I'm doing it as a hobby. For me, I don't expect to make any money. No, that's totally fair. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? Like, if you go into it doing it as a hobby and you not wanting to, or not expecting or wanting to make money, then I don't think that's an issue, right? Okay, why are these guys facing the wrong way? It's because I'm stupid and made them face the wrong way. Okay, but yeah, they do work. See, they're just like, they like swarm around you, so these guys are built a little different. And then over time, we should see them grow up. I never set it to auto start, so it's not gonna happen. Yeah, you can see how those guys can be kind of dangerous. Obviously, they're super weak though. They only have 5 health, so you can kill them super easy. But you don't want them to swarm up on you. Okay, so let's fix their sprite orientation. I don't know why I did this. All right. So, I mean, those guys are basically done. I do want to modify their sounds, especially since they're tiny. I think they should be higher pitched. But it's good enough for now. So let's just load it up and make sure everything's feeling pretty good here. All right. Go to Tefla. All right, we got 2 hives here. Yeah, these guys work pretty well. See, they're very weak. I mean, you can just one-shot them. So it's pretty easy to avoid. It's just like, you know, make sure you go for the hive eventually because they can sneak a couple attacks in on you, especially if you're dealing with other guys, right? Okay. Cool. So we need to draw a corpse for them. Let's enable this grow timer. I think when they grow up, I'm gonna make them play like a egg crack sound. So let's do that. Maybe shoot out some particles. Does it have controller support? Yes, it does. Yeah. Controller support isn't too bad with Godot compared to other things. It's not easy, but you know, it's definitely doable. The nice thing about Godot is the input map, you know, it makes it way easier to set up controller bindings and stuff. I think one of the hardest part, honestly, with controller support was just getting the rebindable controller button set up. But now that it's working, it's, you know, pretty easy. But yeah, it's just you can put in all the joypad buttons for the same keyboard buttons and stuff. There is stuff that you will have to change, and there's been a couple times where I've had to implement my own, like, alternate code for controller versus keyboard. But it wasn't terrible or anything. It's definitely doable. Okay, so now they will do this crack when they spawn in as the big guy. Also, I realize this won't work because, yeah, it's going to be on, we have to do this on the big boring. Alright, so this is gonna be like the cracking egg thing. I can't see where my tools are. Oh, they were down here. I'm gonna copy this color. That's gonna be the color of this. So Factorio left a lot of potential on the table for enemies. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, I was really looking forward to the DLC for the enemies specifically, because I was like, finally, we'll actually get like cool enemies to battle and stuff in the game. But then I realized like, oh, these guys aren't actually that different. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's okay, you know. I don't hate Factorio for that or anything, you know, obviously. I was very disappointed by the worm guys on Vulcanus. Just because, like, I was expecting this cool boss fight thing, and then they were just, you know, massive regen. So, essentially, it's like, as soon as you hit the damage output to kill them, they just die in, like, 2 seconds. So, it just feels very anticlimactic to actually battle those guys. It would have been so much more interesting if, like, they just had a lot of health, but the regen was really slow. So, you know, it's like you'd chip away at their health with your rocket launcher, and it would just be cooler that way. It would feel way more like an actual meaningful boss fight. How they feel now is basically just a barrier to progress. Like, as soon as you get enough turrets and enough ammo on Vulcanus, then you can destroy them in a second. It doesn't even matter anymore. So, I think Fulgora should have had robot enemies. That would have been really cool, yeah. Fulgora, like, definitely feels kind of empty, in my opinion. I mean, it's a cool mechanic with the trash and stuff. Like, going backwards, I think, is really interesting, but I would have liked to see a little more life, just something going on in Fulgora, you know? Because all the other planets do. I mean, except Aquilo. That one doesn't have any enemies, but it would also be cool if that one did have enemies. Man, I know they didn't do it because people were saying that it was already difficult enough. They initially were going to do that one enemy, the squid, the floating squid guy. Squid enemy. I'm sure we can find an image of it. This guy, this was supposed to be an Aquilo enemy, but they just never did anything with it. It was supposed to be there, but yeah. And these guys, the Demolishers. But yeah, I don't know. It would be really cool to see a Factorio game, like, or a game like Factorio with more like PvP enemy combat stuff. That'd be cool. But I don't know. I guess it's technically what Starground is if I think about it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still love Factorio. It's still an awesome game. I just wish that they, I don't know, spend a little more time on the enemy stuff. I think they could have done better, in my opinion. But I also don't like chance-based quality. Could have added second tier processing to things. Yeah, like iron to get additional minerals. I feel that. Yeah. Yeah, I used to make higher grade stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like a case of like they didn't want to spend the time to add a bunch of new things in. It definitely is easier to just make it a percentage-based thing. But yeah, I do know what you mean, though. Sometimes it feels a little, I don't know, weird when it's based around that kind of thing, right? It would be cool if it was just, yeah, like a new process to do it, but oh well. I'm gonna give these gravity. And this is gonna need way more. This is a particle that's gonna play like when the new guy spawns in, so it looks like they grew up from the tiny guy. Makes it grindy. Yeah. No, I definitely like feel the exact same way with that. Like, it does make it feel kind of, I don't know, not super fun when it's just a case of percentages, you know, but I don't know. I feel like I need a new particle for this. Welcome back, Oshik. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I guess also at the end of the day, it is just a DLC. Like, I tried to remind myself where it's like, you know, it's not a full, like, it's not supposed to be Factorio 2. I mean, technically it is, because it's Factorio 2.0 now, but, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's still my most played game. Yeah, same here. I've played it a lot. I have a million hours in it. I think I'm at almost 3,000 hours. I need to play more. But yeah, I think it's good to be able to pick out stuff that you would do different, right? Because, you know, I think that's a good sign of like making something actually different and not just a remake of the same game. Because I felt the exact same way with Forager, where there was just so much with Forager that I was like, I don't like this part about Forager, and I'm gonna do it differently, you know. So yeah, where's that particle that I just created? It's not in here. There we go. I'm also gonna say particle flags in line Y. And let's see, those are aligned incorrectly. Let's rotate clockwise. Might have to go the other way. Yeah, other way. Rotate 180. But yeah, I don't know. The thing with Factorio 2 is there's also mods. I've always thought about maybe like looking at a mod that makes the enemies more interesting for the expansion. Could be kind of fun to check out, you know? You know what? I don't think I'm gonna have that much gravity here. It just doesn't feel right. Now let's set their timeout to be shorter. It's supposed to be like they're bursting out of their exoskeleton, right? So. Then on color, ramp. Like that. Let's randomize the scale a little bit. And then for the color, for hue variation, I just want to up that. That doesn't seem to be doing much. Okay, I don't think that does anything. Let's just mess with the color initial ramp. Oh yeah, I did pull the print up. This is what it's a success. It's covered in glue in the bottom, but yeah, this is what it looks like. So it's got that little tray right here, which I need to take out these supports. Ugh. So yeah, here it is. It's got this little rod. That's like where the jar will sit up against, and then this holds the like body of the jar. But yeah, it's just a simple little print. Gets the job done. I'm printing another one now, so I think it's no, it's not printing filament, is it? Hold on. Well, that sucks. The filament broke, so it did the first layer and then just stopped working. So that's too bad. I gotta restart the print now. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna lower that initial velocity. Something like that is about what I want. Just want it to look like they're upgrading to the big one. It's exactly like the drawing. Well, thank you. Try to write a mod, and Lua hurt my brain. That's why I transitioned to this, yeah. I've tried messing with modding in games before, but honestly, I tend to always go back to
making my own games. It's honestly just easier, but it's also like, I don't know, more meaningful to me. Not that, you know, making mods isn't meaningful, but I just like the permanence of like having something that's mine and the ability to change anything that I want, you know? I think that's kind of a nice thing. Well, let's also make this one shot. Crack.play. Yeah, that sucks that that filament broke. Let me check what's going on. I've been having some issues with this filament. I think it got too wet or something. I think I might need to dry out the filament because it's breaking a lot. And then so I think why the first 3 layers also broke. I think the filament got wet somehow or absorbed too much moisture. That tends to happen with filament. Especially PLA, I think. I could throw it in the oven. I do worry about accidentally melting it all, though. I don't know. I'll have to think about what to do about that. Because, yeah, it's brittle. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go take a look at the filament and see where we're at. Okay, I can't seem to get it out, so I think it's actually not broken. I think it's clogged, which sucks. I might have to take apart my nozzle. We'll see. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Well, this is part of 3D printing. Sometimes it fails. Oh well. We're just gonna hide the printer cam then. But I will fix that after stream, because that's a whole process now. Prevent 3D printed filament from brittle, focus on storing a cool, dry, airtight environment. Yeah, I have, I put all of my filaments inside of, airtight containers with, desiccant packets. It's just because I left this one outside of it too long, so that's the issue. I would love to get those, like, they have, like, the little tiny airtight ones. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that my bins are relatively airtight, but they're not completely airtight, I'm sure. It probably would help, to actually make sure they're airtight with, like, rubber seals and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, maybe one of these days. It's just expensive, though. Some of those can cost a lot of money. It'd probably also help if I had, like, an external, like, for when I'm printing with it, I have it in the enclosure. Just, like, get one of them for the active spool. That would probably help a lot, honestly. Yeah, or just buy a bunch of silica beads. I don't know. It's probably because it rained today and it's really humid. That's probably why, it absorbed all the moisture. Oh well. Kind of use sort of flour. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky just because they're so big, the spools, you know? I need to get, like, a... I don't know. I need to find something. I mean, I could always just vacuum seal them, right? Because that's what a lot of people do. But it's a lot of waste of plastic having to vacuum seal them every time that you open it up. I mean, maybe I could get, like, a resealable vacuum seal container. That would probably be the play. Vacuum pack. I don't know. I'll look into that. It would be really cool if I could reseal them and actually get the air out, you know? It looks like they do sell bags for that. There's like a 20-piece bag here. And it comes with a little pump so you can suck out all the air. So... That would probably help a lot. Just having that as like a second layer, you know, on top of the airtight container. Yeah. Well, I'll look into that after stream. They're not too expensive. Yeah. Anyways, I think these guys should be all good to go. So when, let's see, because now we have this grow function, so we'll just say in the boring junior, after we add them, we'll say boring dot grow. And that should be it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, because I've also noticed some stringing and stuff on these prints, so I'm sure keeping them dry would help. At least I got one successful print. I mean, I'm gonna have to really figure out what's going on with my extruder now. Did the engine just crash? No, it just closed. Odd. Alexa, fan on. Sorry if I activated anybody's Alexa. Thank you for the cheese time. She didn't do it. Alexa, fan on. Okay, there we go. Burn it up. Alright, let's go check out these little guys. No guys, that's okay. Okay, come on, hives everywhere. It's a lot of cheese, yeah. Okay, so these guys should grow up if we just wait long enough. Let's just wait and see. Should be 20 seconds. Oh, there they go, yeah. And the next two should go, yeah. I'm trying to look at the particle effects. It's really difficult to see it, though. Okay, I saw that one. Shooting a guy. Alright. Oh! He killed me. Okay, cool. Well, that works. I'm gonna make it so that these particles follow the, like, where is that in? I know it's in here. There's a way to make it so that their momentum or whatever follows. I'll find it. Local chords, that's, yeah, what I want. Okay, because then if the guy's moving around, the shells stay with the guy. It's just gonna be better that way, I think. Okay, cool. Well, we got that guy. We got the hive with the little guys. What else do we want to add in here? I want to add little centipede guys. The idea, it looks like, for the centipede guys is that the segments do break into more enemies. So I'd have to figure out how I would actually implement that. I wanted to do that for the boss also for this region, so... Yeah. Okay. I don't know how I would do that. I'm trying to think of, like, because I need to do that for the boss, right? I wonder how other games handle the worm, right? I imagine we would just have, like, each segment be its own entity. Right? That way it's like, if you break them in half, then the entities can still be like still operating on their lonesome. But I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do that in Starground would be. Because they wouldn't grow another head. But I don't think that's going to be very performant to have all those entities. We could probably do it as one entity that has segments, and then if they get broken in half, it just turns into 2 different entities. Probably. But then it's going to be really tricky, because if each segment has its own HP, then how am I going to handle, like, the, you know, the attacking and stuff of that? Because that... The problem with that is it kind of completely changes the way that HP works with entities. Because when the player attacks an entity, they're going to be running the take damage function on the enemy. So that's just going to take health away from the base entity, not from a segment. It's going to be kind of tricky. Just because the game was never really designed with segmented enemies in mind, right? How would I do that? Maybe the main entity is unkillable, but then I just add sub-nodes that have the same collision shape. And just treat those as a sort of entity. But I'm pretty sure that in there, I'm checking if it's an entity or not. Let's go look at that in the attack box. Just cut him in half after he dies, and each other piece has to die after. Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's, I guess, one way to get around it, of just, like, having... Like, his whole body would be one entity, and then when you kill him, he just gets split in half. Right? Because that would fix a lot of my issues here. Then that way I could have multiple collision shapes for each segment on his body. And probably just have his segments follow a curve. So that he kind of like... You know, his segments will go where he used to be. It's probably going to be an easier way to do it. I guess it just depends on how frequently this is going to be an actual mechanic for other enemies, because I'm thinking about that right now, and I'm like, we're probably not going to have that many segmented, right? So I don't know if I would want to spend a bunch of time implementing a whole system for that, right? And honestly, same with the boss. We could just have the boss break up into 2 enemies. What else will be here? Yeah, I don't know how to include them on the planets. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably going to be the play. And it'll be just sort of the same thing for the boss enemy too, probably. As cool as it is to have a health bar for each part, I just think it's going to be kind of a nightmare to program. Because it's like, how do I get those entities kind of connected to each other? I mean, it technically would be possible. How would I do it? So I'd have like one entity that's a head. And then I'd have like a entity manager or something. Or have like an array in the entity class for linked entities. so that if you lose a link in the chain, then it just becomes two new entities. I don't know. It's definitely tricky. So yeah, if you killed one entity... I guess one of the hard parts is like making them attack and stuff after you kill them, after you kill the segments. Because I'd have to have one entity as kind of controlling the others. It would be cool. Yeah, he dies and two new guys appear. Yeah. It's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. At least for this guy. Yeah. I don't know, maybe one day I'll mess with the other method, but it's definitely going to be tricky, so I'll probably wait on that. Alright, well, let's draw his segments then. It's going to be kind of difficult with the perspective on this, because, like, he's going to be moving around in all different directions. And if he's moving down, I don't want his head to be sideways, you know? I mean, I can just kind of draw his head at, like, an angle of, like, here's his head, and his claws kind of go out that way. But then the issue is if he's moving up, right? Because it'll look weird. His head will be that way, and then his segment will be down here, if that makes sense. So... I might just have to have 4 directions for each segment. Yeah. It's not a huge deal. So, like, this would be the head. And then on this segment, it goes down like that. Okay. So if it's downwards facing head, it's going to be pointy. I may also have to increase the canvas size here. Let's go to 24. Something like this, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. Let's see. I guess these will just be straight, and then we'll curve them later. Something like that. Maybe make it thicker like that. Yeah, that'll work. And these guys are gonna have eyeballs. Wonder if I should, like, maybe make them angry. Yeah, that'll work. Kind of shaped like that. Then are the eyes just solid white? And this would be a pretty dark mandible. And I guess this guy will have like a mouth. I don't know, maybe I don't need to necessarily draw the mouth. Probably fine how it is. And he has like antennae. So that would be the front sprite. I think before we go ahead and sprite this guy though, I'm probably just going to get the basics working of his movement. Because I think that's the real challenge here. So I'm just going to draw an orb. And... not supposed to be kind of low and hidden. Yeah, I'll probably keep it like that then. And we're just going to call this guy... yeah, what is the name of this enemy? He's like a centipede. Thesaurus. Centipede. Yeah. Segment. What's a word for a segment? Slice. A centislice? Well, because he has his big chompers, right? Segmapede. Segmapede. We could. I think, yeah, either like segment or centi for the first part of the name. Centi. Because centi just means 1,000. What's a word for a mandible? This is the sprite right here, the reference. It's like a centipede guy. He has these two big chompers. Yeah, I feel like a word for like a jaw. Mandible. That's, yeah, what I'm thinking of. Chops. Jowl. Clampipede is pretty good. Yeah. Clampipede. It's like a word for crush. Crushipede. It's compress. The attack is probably just going to be a... well, they're going to charge. They're going to, like, charge in, like, a dash in a straight line. But I imagine they also have an attack that, like, chomps the player. These guys could probably have 2 attacks. I imagine these are going to be larger, like, less common enemies. So... especially if they split into 2 after also. Megapede, that's pretty good. Crunchipede. Rupture. Centicrease. Centa... yeah, I won't say it's on one room, yeah. Centipierce. It's a pretty good one. I like the word strangle. Senta Squelch. Senta... it's another word for kill. A centikill. I don't know if they're going to be poisonous. Probably not. But... then I guess they'd technically be a millipede. Centizap would be a cool word, but it's not. It doesn't make any sense. Senta Slaughter? Yeah. That's pretty good. Senta... Yeah, I didn't design it to be poisonous, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're poisonous. Centipedes. He looks like a pea, yeah. I don't know. Let's write down these names so that we can choose. Megapede, Centipurus, Centislaughter. What else do we got in here? Sigmapede. Centipurus is pretty good. Centislice? Centislaughter. Sigmapede. Centipurus, Centislice. Centislice is kind of interesting. Cruelipede, yeah. It's not terrible. Cruelipede. I do like the word mega because it's like a big guy. Right? It's like a big centipede. Sprouts. Sproutipede. Pincerpede. That's pretty good. Sliceipede. The dog just peed, yeah. Oh man. What else could work for this? Centipede, sliceipede. Sliceipede. Slice. I don't know. I don't know if we need the word pede or not. Not necessarily. Centislaughter, Sigmapede, Centislice. Pincerfang. Trying to think of anything else here. I don't know. So far. Centipede is a stupid word. It is. It's dumb. Centislice is kind of cool. Earwig? Oh, you're so right. It's more of an earwig if you think about it. Warning to people that don't like to look at bugs right now. But it's totally like an earwig. Because earwigs have the two pinchers. Technically, they're on the back of the earwig, but it doesn't matter. Fearwig? Whoa. That goes pretty good. That goes pretty hard. Fearwig. Number 100, in the context of the decimal number system, represents 10 times 10, which is a round number and a significant value in many cultures. The word 100, as mentions Old English, Germanic languages, ultimately tracing back to the Proto-Indo-European roots related to 10 and reckoning. Yeah. It's pretty epic. Centifearwig. We could think of earwig names. Because it's basically he's like an earwig. Sent to Fearwig Peed. Yeah. Awesome name. It actually makes sense because they feed on insects, right? What do earwigs eat? Do earwigs eat wasps? Nah, they're too small. They eat small bugs. Maybe they feed on the babies, right? They feed on the hives. So it makes sense. They're basically an earwig. I do like Fearwig because it's just a nice, like, short name, you know? It's not very difficult to say. Kimmy's kid, my father would say, watch out for tiki bugs that crawl in your ears and eat your brain. What are tiki bugs? Tiki bugs. Oh, it's a fire bug. Interesting. These are quirky little guys. Man, bugs are crazy. There's so many bugs. Centipedes do not, or do eat wasps, so they do. How they're fake? Oh yeah. I like Fearwig. You know, it's cool to fit in the centipede thing, but it's just a complicated word. It's kind of hard to make it sound right, but Fearwig just kind of rolls off the tongue, you know? So I think we'll go Fearwig. But I appreciate everybody's help. So yeah, Fearwig head. So we're just gonna go ahead and start actually making this guy. Because it's gonna be a little tricky. It's probably gonna be a more difficult enemy to add. Just because it's weird how it moves, right? Let's go copy a... And they have a 1.1% chance to drop a scary hide called the Fearwig, yeah. Man. What enemy do we want to copy for this guy? Probably just a basic guy, something like the Ancient Automaton. Ancient Automaton. Centipedes actually do have venom. Yeah, centipedes are venomous. So, millipedes are not. They're the funny guys. They're the little cutie guys. I'll show you guys millipede. Millipedes are kind of epic because they're harmless. I don't even know what they eat, but yeah, I think they just usually eat like plants. I don't think they're kind of carnivorous like centipedes, but they're all round and bulbous, you know, like this guy. Millipedes are cool. I only have stupid centipedes where I live, but they're basically a worm with legs. Some secrete irritating or noxious fluids. Okay, for millipedes, yeah. Interesting. But they're pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a millipede in nature. I don't even know if I have millipedes around where I live. Probably not. But would be cool. We've got worms, slugs, snails, centipedes. I don't know. There's a million things here. Here's the segment. Floating ball. Okay. Get rid of that flash node. Okay, so we have to make this guy have like multiple sprites. So I don't know how I'm gonna make his body follow. One thing that I could do is give him a texture of the beerwig head, like this on a line, and then say tile. And so I could say give this 2 points, and now it'll well, it should be tiling stuff across it, but it's not. I'm on tile mode. It's definitely odd. It's only doing one and then it just stops. I'm not sure why. Right? Because you just see this one and then it doesn't go again. And I've got the texture. I'm not sure what's up. It's on tile. None just goes invisible. Stretch does that. Then tile just doesn't tile. I'm not sure. So we got ads in 1 second. My apologies. Closed? It doesn't matter. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. It should be filling with the segments, but it's just not. Ooh, it's getting all funny and warpy. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't know what's up. After kick, welcome in. I'm a fellow Godot developer. How's it going? Yeah, I don't know why tile isn't working. It's like it's trying to tile because it's a solid line now, but it doesn't, which is really weird. Because do other sprites tile? No one doesn't. But like the rope one was doing that, or the zip line, it was tiling fine. But that one doesn't even tile. Oh, right, I have to make the texture repeatable. Okay, well, I don't know if that's really what I want, though. I just want things to follow this. Maybe I don't want a line 2D, but I want a path 2D. What was this path follow? Takes its parent path 2D and returns coordinates of a point within it. Ah. Okay. Might be what we want. So we can define a progress point in here. Interesting. So if I go ahead on this path and create 2 points like that, then on this path follow, I can give this a sprite. And then I can give it a progress value. Oh yeah, check that out. Oh, then progress ratio, that's what I want. So 1 is at the end, 0 is at the beginning, 0.5 is in the center. So that's going to work really well, actually. That's the way that we can have the segments follow the path. And it's also cool because on the path, I'm pretty sure that we can just modify like the curve here, right? Because I think it's like smooth. Bake interval. I'm not sure how to do that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So we'll probably have like 1 point that follows toward the player. And then the previous point will just kind of lerp toward the last point until it disappears, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to create some code for how it actually works, you know. Call this Fearwig script. Yeah. Extends enemy. Starground entity Fearwig. It's not going to do that. It will not do that. Actually, it is melee. Well, I'll just make it navigate toward the player. Disable all the other stuff for now. Back to the entities table. Also ads are over. It's the last ad of the stream, guys. This will be entity Fearwig. Enemies Fearwig. Just keep all this stuff pretty basic. I don't think they're gonna be that fast. Good enough for now. So, yeah, how am I gonna make this generate these lines? Right? Because it's gonna be like whenever they move direction or whatever, they're gonna have to update add another coordinate to the path, right? But the issue is that if I think if I add another coordinate to the path, okay, no, it does stay where it's at. Thank you for the speed. I can also turn off rotation and stuff, which is cool. Curve 2D and path 2D. See, this has a curve 2D. There's probably some kind of variable in here I can do to change the curve 2D. Can have a path follow 2D. Yeah. Okay, so then if we move this node, I think it's going to move all the other nodes. So see, we can have this lerp like move back toward the next index, and then once it gets there, it deletes itself, and then the next one keeps moving. Get the idea? So yeah, it's good because it's all relative to 0.0. So that's going to be nice for, you know, making the nodes move up the path. I wish that this path was more smoothed out, you know? I don't know if there's a way that I can do that. I do have cubic interpolation on. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be tricky. It's not really that easy to figure out here. See, because when that goes there, then the next node will come along in the path. So basically, that the speed at which this front one is moving is the speed at which this one will continue to go back to the last one. I'll say, what's up, Season? Didn't realize you were in here. So this is going to be freaking hard. So we need to add a regular node because this path can't follow the entity. It'll look really cool once I get this worked out, so we've just got to figure it out. Give it a new curve. So in here, we're going to go ahead and say we need to give it like a default set of things. So I'm just going to do that. I guess it depends on how long we want this guy to be or how many segments. I'll give him like 4 segments. And that one's gonna have progress ratio of 0. This one will be 0.25. Oh, we have to give the path some nodes first. All right, so give it like some length. So this one will be 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and then the head or whatever, which will be 1. Well, I guess technically this one will be the head. Well, no, this one will be the head because it's whatever is going to be in front. Right? Yeah, these guys are going to be freaking tricky. We'll figure it out. All right, so what we're going to do now is... So I need to create new points. This is going to take a lot of math and finagling. So as the front of the segment moves, I need to say subtract it by that amount. It's going to be really hard. Yo, you'll move my segment? Thank you, dude. They got the worm brain plugin. Let's go. Should we put a real worm brain into the game, guys? Nah, I don't use ChatGPT. I'll figure it out. I'm probably just gonna have more issues. I just kind of want to see what other people have talked about with this, because like this person's got, I think, sort of the right idea with like having segments. I mean, one option is kind of taking a different approach at this, which is like maybe we don't have them strictly follow a path, but kind of just lerp toward the head. So like if it curves around, they'll like kind of like just slowly move toward the head, basically like having like momentum, but they always stay like a minimum distance away. I don't know. There's got to be ways I could do this. Yeah, I think it's either the path method or we kind of have them like follow around the head. Godot segmented enemy, maybe, is what I really want. This is creating a worm boss. I kind of just want to see their general approach to how they do this, right? I've got ideas, but before I waste time, I want to see. Here, let's see what they built. Yeah, I mean, that's basically doing the motion I want. Oh, and then it even separates into 2 new guys. So let's see, like, how they do it. Mind state machine, level scene, blah, blah, blah. Boss scene. This is a whole massive tutorial, but I kind of just want to get into, like, the movement code, right? Building the worm segments. That's just adding all the stuff, the tail and body and head and stuff. Head movement. That's just kind of moving wherever. What I'm curious about is how the segments follow, right? Updating worm segments. This is kind of what I want. Are they doing Classic Snake? No, it's all good. I'm not sure. It's kind of, I mean, Classic Snake kind of has the motion that I'm looking for, but I think what they do in Classic Snake is just segment move this way, like they just swap coordinates, right? Because like the segments don't move smoothly in OG Snake. So yeah, unfortunately wouldn't work in Starground, but that concept is sort of the same thing. Okay, so this is just saying... So this is what he has now with that. Okay, so it doesn't work. Here we go. Body and tail segment movement is sort of what I want. Oh. That makes sense. Duh. So all you need to do is just make it so that the last node in the segment will move toward the next node in the segment. So basically, if the head moves, then the segment behind it is going to move toward the head, and the segment behind that is going to move toward the segment behind the head. So that makes sense. Because then when they're moving around, it'll just kind of smoothly go toward where the head is. That's probably how we should do it, because I think that's going to be the play here. And luckily, it's really easy to do that kind of movement with 2D versus 3D, which is what he's doing, right? I think that's going to be the play. It's honestly a really simple way of doing it. I just didn't... This is why I wanted to find, like, a tutorial or something, because I just want to glean some insight on, like, ways to do this, right? So yeah, all it's saying is just look at the segment in front and then slowly move it toward that position, right? Move and slide toward move target, which is the origin minus the node origin. Yeah, that's totally going to work. Okay. Well, I think that's a better method than this because the path is cool and all, but I think it's going to be a little tricky to actually get it working properly. So essentially what we're just going to have, the main sprite is going to be the head segment, and then everything behind that is going to follow it. And then we can just have it like lerp toward the position that we want, like minus the size of the node, so that it doesn't like try and move into the center, but it just tries to move 16 behind the node. And that way we can like say, okay, if we're moving that way, then the node should be 16 behind here. If we're moving that way, then it's going to move toward 16 over here. So that's actually going to work really well. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Well, I will work on that. Unfortunately, I did start really late today, so dinner is ready. I have to go. I apologize for ending the stream early, but at least we're on the right track. We know the route to go. But yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you gamers for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. MDT. Hey, thank you for the follow. And yeah. This update will be out May 16th. Feel free to join the Discord server. Buy Starground on Steam if you want. Ads, yucky. So yeah. Alright. That's cool. I'm glad that we were able to get some enemies in, and I think I have a solid plan for how I'm going to do this guy too. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be fun to also do it as like segments, because it's a pretty simple concept for how the movement works. I'll experiment with this worm idea more, because I think it's kind of fun to do worms. Alright, but we're going to go raid out, everybody. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you gamers tomorrow on Sunday for some more development. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe just more enemy stuff. We're finally getting started on the boss, because that is something that we have to do. But yeah. We're gonna raid freaking Maxwell, because I feel like it. He is working on Starground alongside us. He does like quest and story stuff. So yeah, let's go raid him. Alright. Thank you gamers. I will see you tomorrow. Or whenever. Yeah. Alright. Bye gamers. Raid message is Big Boy Raid. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.